Hi, it's Juju, and it's day 12 of knowing that I'm fighting cancer. It's a very, very busy week of preparations leading up to my January 5 Whipple surgery, and I am just so grateful for all of the support and the gifts and the love and the prayers. And I thank you guys so much, and I promise you I'm extending those prayers back to you guys. And I am just so ready for January 5. It can't get here soon enough. I had one of my twins ask me, Mom, do you want this week to go by slow or fast? And I said, I really want it to go by fast. What do you think? And he said, I want it to go by slow because you feel good and you're normal and you're not hurting. And that was sweet. But I'm just ready. I know this is going to be hard, but we got to get into it. So I have so many things I want to talk about, but I really couldn't let this week go by without talking about my butler. I'm disturbing him while he's eating because I've got to do this now because I've got to get back to work. I have a lot of things to do to set my team up for success. And I'm thinking, okay, I got to talk about Butler, but how do I make this a teachable moment? And I think maybe I can do it. So tell me if I've succeeded at the end of this video. So Butler, he was born on our property. We all watched him be born. It was one of the most precious things. He is part of a family legacy of horses that we had there for a while. He's actually the last one. He's 34 years old. That's quite astounding. He's amazing. He's one of my heroes. And my dad owned his mama. She had had a couple of really nice babies, one of which was Rusty, my barrel horse that most people know. And Dad bred her again to an American paint horse, a very flashy brown and white American paint horse. Sugar, his mama, is an American quarter horse, or was. And back in those days, there were a lot of different rules than there are now. For registering them with either of those breed registries. So here comes Butler, and he is solid. Well, that was a big no-no for the American Paint Horse Association back there. Even though he had a paint daddy, he couldn't be registerable by APHA back in those days. And the American Quarter Horse Association also for sure was like, this is a no-no. So we could not get this horse papered. What does that mean? That means he was not as valuable as a papered horse. It's like a dog registry. You guys might get that. So all of our other horses were papered and registered, and then we had Butler, who was not. And I'm so glad my dad decided to keep him and not sell him for pennies on the dollar, because he ended up just being the greatest horse. Oh my gosh, everybody rode him. We took him on all the trail rides, and he was beautiful, and he stopped people in their tracks. And I can only imagine that my dad was offered a lot of money for him at certain points, and my dad would have absolutely said, absolutely not. There's no way. And then the funny thing is, if the rubber met the road on a negotiation with this horse, the buyer would have won out because he doesn't have papers. As soon as they would have figured out he was paperless, they would have been like, oh, well, I'm going to offer you a lot less. Okay, so here's where maybe there's a lesson. How does this kind of compute to us? I think of horse papers as maybe like our resumes, our human resumes, or just kind of our track record. And Butler's papers, or lack thereof, don't matter to us. We love him so much. And our papers don't matter to Jesus. What we have done in college, how many degrees we have, those don't matter to Jesus. What he cares about is that we believe in him, and he is chasing us whether we do or not. And I think that's so beautiful. I have a really wonderful best friend who is a non-believer, and if she only knew that Jesus was chasing her every day of her life, and I pray that one day she feels him chasing her, and he will never give up, because he doesn't care about your papers. He loves you so, so, so much. And he doesn't think you're worthless ever. He loves you. And I love you. And I hope that was semi-inspiring. Let me know how I did. I'm not a preacher, clearly. You guys, I hope you have a beautiful day. The sun is out in Kansas City, and boy, did we need it. Be kind, fill a bucket, know that you are worth everything. Everything. Juju can do hard things.